Located in northeastern Ohio, Oberlin was founded in 1833. Towards the middle of the 19th century, Oberlin became a major focus of the abolitionist movement in the United States. The town was conceived as an integrated community, and blacks attended Oberlin College from 1835. Currently, the college serves approximately 3,000 students who study for a wide range of degrees. Today, Oberlin's population is around 8,200. It is still a progressive city, but it's facing a problem. Its cemetery is in a state of decay. Westwood Cemetery is an important part of the city's history. Restoring and maintaining it can become a great civics lesson to the young people in the community so they can know where they came from and where they are going.
We are at the Westwood Cemetery in Oberlin, Ohio. The cemetery has had over 100 years of history. We are in the oldest section of the cemetery, a cemetery that came about after the Civil War. In the section that you are now viewing to the back is the Lincoln Post, which represents the Grand Army of the Republic, one you'll find in most Ohio towns and most small towns wherever you had Civil War veterans. Now, originally, these gates did appear in many of the other graves, but this is the last gated plot we have in the cemetery. It is original wrought iron and marble, and it is the last example, but it is also a reminder of the need of renovation and of preservation of these monuments. We're now at the Quinn family plot. This is George Quinn, who was with the Grand Army of the Republic, again, a Civil War veteran. His monument was vandalized about 3 years ago. He had a marble dome that sat on the top, and it is vandalized. It was taken. He also, after the war, as many of them were, he was a grave digger. So many of the old graves he dug himself. We have a stone here of Winifred Connors, an African-American woman that brought in 48 African-Americans out of North Carolina. They were the free colored group who had businesses that were run out of North Carolina during the Black Laws of 1807. Here's an example of a stone that has been preserved and cleaned. And so some of their family is still alive in this town. So it isn't that they're all gone, that their generations are still here. And hopefully this whole section can be brought back. There was a huge tree here in which her stone was up under the roots because the tree just encompassed her. So when the tree was taken down, then they had to take all of it loose and fill in all this space again. So that's another calamity that happens over time and nature. And nature will just take it all over theirself. But you can certainly see the difference of what can be done to an old stone. That is the same stone. It looked exactly like the one next to it. All right, here's a good example of how nature takes over and how it encompasses the stones. Now, when you talk about maintenance, the probably only answer will be is to move it out and stabilize it. But the roots of this tree probably go all the way out to all the other stones that are around it. This is Thomas Jarvis monument. He was an African-American, a very prosperous businessman who came to Oberlin and brought a lot of property up. His family was educated and moved away, but many of them are still buried in the same plot This is a pretty well together plot. However, there are cracks in the base. All right, we're now in another part of the Westwood Cemetery that has the grave sites of those soldiers that fought in the Civil War. Behind me where the flag pole is, that's called the Soldiers' Rest. What's interesting about all of this is that the Grand Army of the Republic took full control in its time to take care of all of the cemetery for monuments of their soldiers that fought in the Civil War. They did that till the last one was gone, and no one picked up the plow and continued that duty. If those men from the Civil War respected the men that gave their lives to the Civil War and tried to maintain the care of it, they bought that plot and took care of it. Today, we owe them to keep up the care of this cemetery. There are many facets in which education can take place in a cemetery study. There's iconology, the study of the art of the cemetery, and every cemetery has its own particular art that reflects the history. And also, it's a science project. You learn the different stones of the tombstones and all of that. So there are many aspects in education that could bring in to the interest so that the schools could be involved. History, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. And there's a saying that says the more things change, the more they stay the same. And when you start to study history, you realize that there are certain quirks that have happened in history, and people have not moved because of that factor. You know, I mean, a lot of people just think that whatever happened today just happens today, but it doesn't, because every day is history. Tomorrow is going to be history.